Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Noise and welcome back to Feed the Beast Infinity Expert Mode, Skyblock, all of the words. Welcome back to Feed the Beast Infinity Mode, Infinity Expert Mode. There we go. I'm just gonna call it that. Last time we expanded our lasers in preparation for the QED, which requires a resonant machine frame, which takes a lot of RF. And let's see, I believe we went ahead and made an aqueous accumulator and got automatic soul sand set up. We're going to use that relatively soon. And let's see what else. We got the alloy smelter because we're going to need that today. So, bunch of stuff. Nothing terribly exciting has happened between episodes. I came on here for a while and just did some stuff. The uranium fuel rods are almost done. They're getting close. And yeah, the bees are taking forever. We're not getting that much honey, which is the biggest issue. But something that was exciting is I did get a zombie trophy. Can you get that? Aww. So we got a zombie trophy from killing zombies. I'm gonna put him right there. Make some noises, and I think it will occasionally give you rotten flesh. I don't know. I got some more treasures. So I got 2 commons. Ooh, an ender pearl. Good. We're gonna need ender pearls today. Some diamonds. That's nice. And anything good? Fuel efficiency 3 or 2 rather. Let's scan everything we can. So yeah, we are going to be doing a few things today. Namely, we're going to try to get a QED set up. And as you can see, I have a quest book. So I learned that this mod pack actually has the questing, the hardcore questing mode. And it is actually completed. It's full, but we don't have any of the stuff complete, like ready. And well, honestly, it's none of the stuff will give you any rewards. There's no reason. It's just kind of how to do, kind of how to proceed and what you should go after and all that fun stuff. And honestly, I don't really need it. So we're not going to use it. It's as simple as that. We're not going to use it. We got another quest book. I think it's in here. Yeah. Because when you activate quest mode, the quest books, by the way, if you look at the recipe, make them, it's just a book in the string. But yeah, I didn't realize that this mod pack had that. So yeah, there you go. Efficiency 1, power 2. Yeah, so one of the things I kind of like to do, but it's going to be kind of a pain to do, we have 2 diamonds. You know what? We're going to keep those 2 diamonds. We need a book, and I don't think I have an extra book lying around. So 3 paper. We're going to need not quite that much wood, but a little bit of wood. And we're going to make some blank patterns. So yeah, I want to get a book. I'm going to get an enchanting table. I'd like to see something. And I don't know if it's going to work how I want it to, but wouldn't hurt regardless. Make sure everything's scanned. I'm running out of aspects. There are a couple of ways to get more aspects, but none of them are really that good for me. And then we're going to sleep here in a second. So there is a book. We're going to make an enchanting table because if we can get some enchanted books that are halfway decent, we can improve our auto sieves, sieves, whatever, these guys. And that's going to help in the long run to make everything better. So let's grab, we're going to need a bit of obsidian today, so let's just grab a handful. I'll make more later when I need it. So let us come back up here. We'll take our first 4 and make an enchanting table. So that's cool. Let's go ahead and place this down. And it's old style enchanting. Great. Alright, so we're not going to use that right away. We'll use that later. Hope I didn't make one already. I don't think I did. Unfortunately, anything that makes enchanting easier is disabled. So, for example, the enchanter from Ender.io has no recipe. Now, the disenchanter from Draconic Evolution does have a recipe, and that is a nice item for getting stuff like the Soulbound off of your armor and all that fun stuff, but it's not very useful. I would like to see if we put efficiency 1 in here. It consumed the book. Okay. I don't know if that worked or not. So yeah, I have no idea. I considered switching that system over to the automatic sieves. Sieves, how do you say it? I don't actually know. The automatic ones. These guys they're not too bad to make. They can only use one item at a time. I believe there's a little bit more expensive on power, but they have fortune upgrades, which are relatively cheap to make, and there's also speed upgrades, which I believe are a little bit more expensive. Let me see. Is it efficiency? Let's just look up upgrade. I guess it's speed upgrade. Yeah, this is a little bit more expensive just because it has pyrotheum dust, but otherwise not too bad. Otherwise we could make dark steel balls, which we could make now. Redstone alloy is not that bad to make either. So yeah, there's some options with that. Otherwise we have to make enchanted books and do what we just did and feed the things, but I don't know what's the best way to do all that, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. We'll deal with that later. Anyways, we have a few more things left to do. So I did a whole bunch of research off camera. And let's get all of this researched. Hopefully don't get too much warp. But yeah, just getting a whole bunch of research done, all that fun stuff. And 3 more. Cool. No warp. That is unusual. But yeah, so today, the main goal is to make the QED. Or at least get this started. So, the first thing we should really get working on is the machine frame resonant. So we need some crushed obsidian, we need intricate circuit board, and the other hard part is going to be the Enderium gear. We need a little bit more Enderium. We have 2 so far. Let's see, we're going to need 9 of this. And you know what, let's just use a block of steel. And we're going to make some steel plates. And go from there. So this has the plate former on. We need a little bit more Enderium. Let's get 2 crushed obsidian. Should not be too difficult. So the Enderium needs silver, tin, and ender pearls. So 10, silver, and platinum. That's right. It's those 3. Then we're gonna need ender pearls and what are they called? Pyrotheum dust, which is a little bit of redstone, a little bit of sulfur, blaze powder. No, it's not redstone. It's electrotine, which we have 4 stacks of, which is really nice. We need to upgrade our solar panels relatively soon. And then coal dust, which we should have a little bit in here. And there is the pyrotheum dust. So we should be able to make this now in the this guy, or we could make Enderium in the alloy in the smeltery. I think it's gonna be better making it in the smeltery just so we don't have to use the pyrotheum dust. So let's put that away. I need to eat. I wondered why I was going so slow. So between episodes, I did a lot of, I made a whole bunch of Invar and Electrum, and I also made a bunch of aluminum. I just took a stack of this and smelted it up. Nice and easy. Let's get the ingot cast. So this takes a little bit of time, but we'll be fine otherwise. Ender pearls don't melt in there. Never mind. Looks like we're gonna have to do it the other way. How did I get this Enderium before? Oh, I melted it and all that. But we can do it this way. Because molten Enderium in here, you need resonant ender, but we can't get block of solid ender is the only way to get that without the magma crucible. So let's do it the other way. So we're gonna have to use the pyrotheum dust. I thought we could get around that. Oh well. Not that big of a deal. So let's see. We have our steel plates. Let's get our Enderium base processing and compressor, steel plates. Yeah, so this is getting close to being done. Once that's done, we're gonna have to do some fancy stuff to make it better. To basically be able to make iridium kind of efficiently. So there's the Enderium base. We need one more set of pyrotheum dust. So nothing too difficult. And the coal dust. So this is easy enough. We'll get the Enderium. We'll get that. Get the gear for that. And yeah, that'll take a little bit of time. It takes a lot of power. But luckily we have plenty of power. And this guy, yeah, we have plenty of power for right now. Anyways, so there's the dense refined iron plate. There's the crushed obsidian. We have the emerald chipset. I went ahead and made a whole bunch of redstone chipsets as well. What else do we need? We need the intricate circuit board, which is 3 gold, 6 redstone. Excuse me. Nothing too difficult with this. And bucket of water. One of these days I will make a bunch of carpenters. Basically one for each of the things I'm going to need, the liquids. So most of the recipes require water, some of them require seed oil, and I think there's some that require like honey or something like that, but those are a little bit more uncommon. This is going to take a while, so there is the intricate circuit board. We might need more of those, I'm not entirely sure, but I want to get this going here in a moment. So once we get the last 2 Enderium, we'll be good. And we're going to need a handful of other things. So this is probably the hardest thing to make for the QED. But once we get that, we can start looking into getting more power gen all at once. So as soon as we get that, there's the Enderium gear. Let's put that in here and tell it to go ahead and start. So this is going to require 50 million RF. It is going to take a while. It's also going to drain this power. I'm okay with that. We will deal with that as we go. It can honestly just sit there and run. We might want to get, I believe it's a little bit of Electrum. And have I ever scanned Electrum? I haven't. Cool. Can we scan any of this stuff? I need more power. Lasers are good. Let's scan everything we can. And hope for the best. Cool. Let me see if... most of this stuff doesn't have anything to scan. But, alright. Anyways, let's get some NV wire. So it's just a treated stick. And what we're going to do is we're going to extend power a little bit better with MV. It transfers more RF per tick, so that'll be a little bit better. So we'll break this guy momentarily. Put an MV connector right there, and now the fun part, we have to take this all the way over here. Wait a sec, that's an input. So all of this stuff is just getting power from this. That's why I need to fix this. So let's rewire our base a little bit. I made a big mistake. Whoops. Let's just get a block of Electrum, and let's fix this. So, we need more wire, and hopefully we can do this with what we have. Alright, so I need an output. Honestly, right here. We're going to put a connector right there. And alright, so these guys don't produce enough to really matter, so let's break this. It's going to give us a bunch of connectors and whatnot. Let's climb up here, get this, and can we put this to here? Awesome. And then we'll break this guy. And for right now, let's just break this guy. Come up here. We do two MV wire. And I don't like that. We need a few more connectors. So can we remove this? Let's just take this off for a second. And what we'll do is we'll climb up here. We'll break this guy and this guy. We need a few more MV connectors, but we should be able to do this to here. And then this is an input, which we will take a low voltage and put it like, can we just put it right here? And then something like this. And that's obstructed. Of course it is. Can we put it on the back? Let's check this one first. Alright, that worked. It is obstructed. Dang it. Alright, so let's see if we have any more poles. I did not anticipate having to do this. To be perfectly honest, how do we make MV wire connectors, hardened clay, and some iron? That is easy enough. The only problem is, do we have any more hardened clay? Do we have any more power poles as well? It's wooden post, right? Yes. So it's just some fences and piece of stone brick. Which I believe we have one more up here. So we'll make one more power post. One of these days I'm going to make everything a little bit nicer. We're going to need this probably today. So we can do something like put it here. We have an LV wire connector, LV wire from here to here, from there to there, and can I just connect this? Nope. We're gonna need another LV, so we'll put it like here, and do that to this. Alright, so this should be using a little bit more power. As this should be getting more power for one. We need to get a little bit of hardened clay. 4 pieces to be exact. So let's drop down. That's something I've considered making down here, is an automatic clay. I don't think that'd be a terrible idea. But we need a little bit more MV wire connectors. So there's 2, and there's the 4th. So let's get that smelted up real quick. How are we doing on power now? Okay, that's using a little bit more power, it looks like. And how is this handling? Okay, it's handling power just fine. But how are we doing for power down there, I wonder? We might have to look at that in a minute. Anyways, this is almost out of power, which we need to fix pretty much immediately. So let's get 1, 2, 3. Once our stuff is done, we can get some more MV power cables going. Perfect. And 8 more of those. Alright, let's pop up here. This is somewhat scary, but I do have my jetpack. And we'll do this. So here to here, and then here to here. So this should be getting power now. Hopefully it gets more. That is... We're losing power, it looks like. Of course, we only are outputting 800 RF per tick. That is one of the issues. But hopefully things kind of balance out. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's put all this stuff away. And let's see how things look down here. That is not getting power. Pretty much none of this stuff. That's losing power now. I need to replace those, because those are LV. I need more power there. So I need 2 connectors and a wire. And let's see if this works. So this is not what I was anticipating doing today, but hey, doesn't matter. As long as we get things done, it doesn't really matter to me. So let's get connector and connector, and then connect those. Cool. So these guys are slowly gaining power. Obviously, I don't have enough output to really get all the stuff ready, but how close is this? This has a little over 2 million RF, because that's what this has. So what if we turn this off for a moment, let this get full again, and just kind of do that a couple times. In the meantime, let us start looking at the other components that we need. So we're going to need some ender-infused obsidian for the actual QED, and then we're going to need more for each enderflux crystal. I don't know how many enderflux crystals we're going to be able to make, so let's hold off on that. We have the redstone chipset. We need 4 basic capacitors, which means more signalum. Signalum is a little bit annoying because it requires a bunch of redstone. So let's get 30. And then it's copper and, no, not silver, it's tin. So if we look at the recipe for signalum, we can make it in our new alloy furnace. I actually don't need quite this much. So it is basically bronze, 3, and a little bit of redstone. So I make 2 recipes, I think, of it. And no, it is not. What is the other? It's silver. It is silver. Okay. Easy enough to take care of. So we need 2 pieces of silver, and we can go ahead and make a little bit of signalum. This will make 8 pieces. For now, that's more than enough. So that'll do its thing. Now, in order to get the double layers, we're going to need energetic alloys, we're going to need blazing electron tubes, and we're going to need lapis electron tubes. Let's see what kind of electron tubes we have. We have 1 lapis. So we're going to need more lapis. That is not too bad. And then we're going to need the blazing. So we need 5 of each of these. And for redstone, come over here to our thermionic fabricator. Put that in there. It makes lapis, and then we'll replace this and get the blazing. Cool. So how's this doing on power? Slowly. Slowly but surely. So 2 actually we need all 4 lapis. We're gonna need a bit of signalum. Let's see, there is, I believe, all 4 that we're gonna need. And let's put the Enderium back in here. I'm not gonna need that for right now. And this should be pretty much all we need for the electrons, for the capacitors rather. So we need some redstone chipsets. I'm glad I made those between episodes. And there are our 4 basic capacitors. Now can we scan that? We can. Scan this? Nope. Alright, well, might as well try to scan stuff. And then we need 2 capacitors, 2 blazing electron tubes rather, and the energetic alloy. So let's first of all scan this stuff if we can, and we get the 2 double layer capacitors, and that is pretty much all we need. So this is 2 more ender pearls. Oh wow, it's like I knew that I needed that. And then for obsidian, and that's pretty much all of the ingredients that we need except for the machine frame, and I guess the other redstone chipset, but we can grab that real quick. Let's output, let those do whatever they can. And I will, honestly, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a couple culinary generators. Do we have any chili that we can make? We can in a second. So I don't know why it does that. We can make a stack of chili. And if we go bone meal some stuff, we can make the rest of the ingredients. So let's get the chili. And grab some bone meal from our mob farm. And we'll just use this to get a little bit more power. So a bunch of bone meal. I don't want to bore you guys too much with bone meal, but I want to at least get a stack of extreme chili for all this. We can also mess with the bees a little bit. Bees are taking forever just because I'm not getting honey. So something that we might do in the near future is just make a whole bunch of hives and get a bunch of different bees, and then make more apiaries and just let them go. But shouldn't be too bad. One of the next things we're going to want, so the whole reason I'm doing the QED is to get better power gen. So with the QED we can make energy nodes, which transfer nodes, or so the culinary generators require, transfer nodes, energy. In order to make these, we need a QED, and that'll allow us to make 8 times culinary generators, which basically is just going to let us get more power in general. So let's do input. We'll place down, both of these guys. And this is just going to be to help boost everything. Let's grab our chili, which, oh, there it is. I didn't see it in my inventory. Have we ever scanned that? No. Cool. It's always smart to scan basically everything you can. So we put this stuff in here. It's going to produce it's going to produce a lot of RF. And that'll help kind of augment our power and let this go a little bit faster. But anyways, the only other thing we're going to need to do is get the interflux crystals. But in order to do that, we're going to need one more piece. We're going to need one more ender pearl. That's a pain. We're also going to need some quartz, which is why we made the soul sand. So we have some rubber here. We need to do some more stuff. So this is getting close to getting us plutonium, which means it's time for us to start looking into getting, well, once we get plutonium, we will be able to get iridium. And iridium is expensive. However, there's another way to make iridium. So if we look at iridium, a single piece of iridium requires, that is 80 million RF. It requires 1 MOX fuel, which is plutonium, which we're going to be getting from, we're going to be getting these tiny piles. We'll get 4 tiny piles of plutonium from each of the quad, plus a good bit of uranium-238, which we can then use again with, if we can get some uranium-235 to get the enriched uranium. So it's kind of annoying, but we can get the MOX fuel, and then we need a bunch of iron plates and some more plutonium, and we can get a pellet of RTG fuel. That is a mouthful to say. But if we get enough iridium, if we can get just 1 iridium, we can replicate it. So IC2 has an incredibly complicated system that requires a recycler. Well, we're going to use a recycler because it's dumb not to. Requires a mass fabricator, a scanner, and a replicator, all in order to replicate items. It requires a lot of power and a lot of items, but we're going to try our best. And this stuff is not fun to make. But we should be able to handle it at this point. It's just going to be pretty costly, to be perfectly honest. There's one other thing that we're going to need, but for the most part, it's not too bad. So that is one thing we're going to look at. And then the other thing, in order to get more power, we're going to need selenium, which requires a molecular transformer. And this thing requires a lot of stuff. It's not too bad, but it's going to require a lot of tin powder, coal powder, copper plates. These things aren't too terrible, but they're annoying enough. And then 4 advanced machine frames. So I am going to probably do a lot of the stuff off camera, but we can at least start. We have a whole bunch of carbon plates. I have a few. I have an electric circuit. We can get more carbon plates soon enough. We need a little bit more coal dust. Let's get 2 more pieces. And we can at least start making some of the components for this. So let's pulverize the coal. And yeah, pretty much we're going to need a lot of stuff. We're actually losing power now, which is kind of good. But this still has plenty of power, so that tells me that it's transferring a lot of power here. Yes. So we could potentially even... How bad is the high voltage stuff? High voltage wire connectors is aluminum and a lot more hardened clay. And the high voltage wires are steel. Okay, well, I think we can handle that. So let's get some carbon plates cooking up. And I think what I want to do for the rest of the episode, because there's not much more, we need to get more ender pearls, which is going to require one of 2 things. We either need to make a new mob farm, or try to get lucky with killing these guys and getting stuff. We'll probably do the killing the thaumic mobs method, but we'll see. So we're going to need some more obsidian, electronic circuits. So I'm going to make a whole bunch of electronic circuits and all that fun stuff. Let's sleep so the bees do their work. And yeah, so I think the last thing we're going to try to do is we're going to do a little bit of automation with clay. Bees. I want to go to the bees. So that has water in it. Let's break this and that. 1 is good enough for now with the dirt. We're not really using all that much dirt. Got a little bit more honey. I did get, by the way, before I forget, I did get a common drone. So if we can just get a common princess, we can get all the commons we want. And that makes further mutations a little bit easier. So, do we have any more barrels? No. Huh. Okay. Well, let's make... I mean, we have that one right there. Actually, I don't really use it for anything else, so let's go ahead and use it. So we're going to need... See, I like the transfer nodes, I do believe. We'll want some energy pipes. We'll want some more fluid ducts. Tempered fluid ducts work just fine. And we are going to want... Let's see, we're going to want 2 chests. And 2 slabs so that we can make 2 more barrels. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One of these days I will automate a lot more stuff so we get steel production kind of automatically and all that fun stuff. But for now, I don't really need to. Alright, so this one will be a little bit easier. We just need to have another output. We'll have an output out the top. We're gonna need more temperate fluid ducts, but that's fine. So if we do something like this, and honestly, let's just do one. I wish this was easier to do. Can I break this? Is there blocks underneath there? There are. Alright, so we put... Honestly, let's move these back. Honestly, right here will be good. We can put this like this. We'll put a transfer node right there. And a transfer node there with another pipe. The top one will be for dust. And yeah, that'll be pretty much it. We just have to connect it with the fluid pipes, the fluid ducts, so that we can get what we need. Let's get one piece of dust. It shouldn't transfer over right now. Oh, it did immediately, but there we go. Dust goes there. We need just a few more of those, and let's fill this back in. Cool, so this is going to work out pretty nicely, actually, pretty simply. And again, all we have to do is put dust in there, and we'll get what we need. So I need more fluid ducts, which I think are difficult to make. Yeah, hardened glass and temperate. Yeah, those are annoying. So we need lead, 2 copper plates. So I believe we can just go ahead and pulverize this. Do we have any copper plates? Didn't see any. So 2 copper plates. That's done. Induction furnace right here with a piece of lead. Is that going to give us 1 or 2? I think it's only 1, isn't it? No, it's 2. Alright. There is the copper. How's this doing? Ugh. We're at 4 million out of 50, so we're getting there. I'm going to have to spend a little bit of time off camera, just kind of waiting. But there we go. There's the temperate fluid ducts. And that'll fill with water and make clay. So this way we can get plenty of clay and everything will be nice. So perfect. I guess the next big thing that we need to do is upgrade power storage. But that's going to be another pain. Because in order to get, let's skip to resonant. Resonant energy frames require the redstone. So let's just look at the redstone. This is easy. Actually, the energy frames are pretty easy. Diamond, double layer, and advanced. We've made all that. So that's not too bad, actually. And if we want to upgrade it, octactic requires an ender. That's a bit of a pain just because the ender pearls. There are other ways to get ender pearls, but for now we don't really have much option. Then the vibrant alloys are more ender pearls. Emeralds, yeah, most of this isn't too bad. But it does require a lot of ender pearls. So that is one of the next things we're going to want to look into, is getting more ender pearls. And I think the easiest way is going to be to get a auto spawner. So that'll be one of the next things we work towards. So between episodes, I'm going to make a bunch of advanced alloys and just kind of start working towards getting all of the machine frames that we're going to need, or machine casings rather. And yeah, just getting a lot of stuff made. I mean, we have 12 carbon plates, so just making more advanced alloys and that kind of stuff. And one last thing, just to give me something else to do off camera, let's go ahead and get our scribing tools, and let's get some research. So what all can we get? As you can see, we have a lot more stuff researched. A lot of this stuff seems to be to be locked out, but we'll get there. Let's see, void jars, get that, and we can get the crystallization, get that, get the alchemical. I don't have enough void for that. Artifice, we have, let's get the infernal furnace, infusion, we can get that now. We're a ways away from infusion though, so let's see, Golomancy, all this stuff we can go ahead and get, at least some of it. And alright, let's see, X asterisk, we have everything here. So let's just get a bunch of this stuff, because why not? Basically unlock whatever we can. And wow, that gave us a lot of different things. I'll come back to that stuff later. So I don't know if a lot of things are just locked out or what, but let's get that. Both of these. Energistics, some more stuff there, and flesh purification. Floating candles don't have air. Just trying to get things. So, okay, that's enough. So I will do those researches between episodes, and yeah, one of these days we're gonna have to get some more stuff to scan or get a better way to get elements, but we'll deal with that later. Anyways, I have a lot of work to do off camera and a lot of waiting for the machine frame. So I'm going to do that, and next time we will make the QED and kind of go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!